Hey everyone, it's Ivan, kitbadger.com, out here today to tell you about the Sig Sauer Next Event. What is the Next Event? Well, oftentimes companies, when they release a product, they'll have some sort of kind of like media day, but Sig being Sig, kind of above and beyond. It's pretty wild. I want to say they had something like 50 different people from media, all kinds of different channels or gun magazines like Recoil, stuff like that. And then they had another 50 or so guests who were basically different people who bought large quantities, whether it was different gun stores and ranges or actual distributors, things like that, and brought everyone together and had a pretty amazing event. Well, that first night kind of started with almost like a keynote speech. Basically went through the entire product lineup that they were launching. That next day, got to actually put hands on. So ended up going out to the Sig Academy, amazing facility. And then from there, everyone kind of broke into different groups and went through essentially a bunch of different stations, checking out all of the different products. For my group, first stop was actually in the pro shop. Went through there, checked it out. And I want to say it's the Sig Experience Center. Really amazing facility. Tons and tons of pretty much all their products there, as well as a bunch of other accessories, all kinds of stuff there. And then also there is an indoor range. And they kind of ran us through some pretty cool stuff that they have with an app. The app has tons of stuff in it, to include a bunch of online classes, whether it's stuff from Lena or the other members of their shooting team. And then also there's the whole kind of online training side of it, where you can either use it just to shoot different drills, that it's gonna prompt you for stuff, or really cool thing that they have where there's these printable targets, as well as some that you can actually purchase. And the way it works is it uses your smartphone to essentially look at your target and say, okay, cool, I recognize it. And then pretty much in real time, as you're shooting, it's marking and scoring your target and then giving you feedback of, hey, like this is where your group is, this is how big it is. And then digitally it'll paste it over so you can shoot the same target over and over, even though you're putting more and more holes through it. Pretty neat. And you can even use it, I want to say, with a spotting scope, so you can use that same target out to, I want to say, about 100 yards. So if you're shooting rifle, especially think zeroing, basically, yeah, immediate feedback, don't have to go back and forth on the range. Pretty cool stuff. After we left there, ended up going over to check out the outdoor ranges and all the different products, one of which is the P365 FUSE. Basically, it is essentially a full-size pistol in a P365 frame. So 4.3 inch barrel, I want to say, but it's still, I think, 1.1 inches thick. So definitely way more concealable, but full-size capacity too. So you're getting either a flush 17 round or an extended 21 round magazine. Thing's pretty cool. And then also on it is their new enclosed optic, both for that, and they also have just a larger scaled version, which will actually go in their 320 series. But yeah, pretty fun shooting that pistol. Another one we got to check out was the Flux Legion. Basically pretty tricked out, like 320 in a Flux chassis. And that thing's actually really cool. It's just a fun gun to shoot. And if you practice with it, the mag changes are actually really fast. They actually had kind of a little side stage where they were going to give one away. Whoever could basically conduct the fastest mag change. I want to say it was 5 rounds on one target, 5 on the other, with a mag change in there. And yeah, pretty cool little pistol. Another pistol they released was their steel frame 320, based straight up competition pistol. Really heavy, probably would not want to everyday carry it, but pretty cool. And on it they have their new optic, in part developed by Max, one of their team shooters. Really cool. Basically just a really big window, like lets you see everything. And yeah, got to do some shooting with that. They had a bunch of plate racks, and then of course Max was there kind of later in the day, some doing some shooting. And he's like, yeah, you want to come shoot this? I'm like, he's like, I'll shoot one, you shoot one. I'm like, okay, like as long as we're not shooting next to each other. No bro timer. Tons of fun shooting that pistol though. Another pistol they had there was their anniversary pistol for the P226, I want to say. That thing saw a lot of use in the military for quite some time. Probably still used in some units. But yeah, anniversary pistol. And then something kind of special, especially on the pistol side, they had their Reserve, which basically super tricked out 320 essentially. Like all the bells and whistles. Beautiful pistol. Some other cool stuff they had, thermals. Sig pretty much makes everything. Like they have guns, optics, ammo, suppressors, like all of the different things, and now thermals. And so it's pretty cool. And I want to say they all use like 640 core or something like that, like good cores. And there's one that was a clip-on, did a little bit of shooting with that. And all of them are ruggedized. I was actually checking out, I want to say it was the clip-on the night before at kind of that, I guess, keynote, we'll say. And I was looking at the bottom, thing was super beat up. They were actually shooting it a bunch on belt fed, just pressure testing equipment. And yeah, thing held up amazingly well. So did some shooting with that. And then they also have a dedicated optic, which is really cool. There's a lot of really cool features in there. One, I think there's a bunch of actual preset, like your gun zero. In that you can, it's a return to zero mount. So you can put it on, go back to, hey, this is on this gun now. And it's like, cool, here's your zero. And then also there's actually a laser rangefinder in there. So it'll give you basically it'll give you your hold when you range it after it's running like a version of like applied ballistics or something like that. So it's giving you your firing solution in the thermal. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. I also had the opportunity to shoot the cross in 277 Fury, I guess it is. And cool guns, like those things shoot. They actually had paper up. I want to say they had steel too, but it was pretty fun being able to shoot paper just because you're like, oh dang, this thing shoots. Be able to shoot little groups at just at 100 just because of the limitations of that range, but pretty cool rifle. And then kind of continuing with the bolt action and the cross, something new that I want to say is actually a collaboration with Steve Ranella, is that right? Meat Eater dude. Basically a hunting gun. And so they took the cross and they were like, hey, what do we need to do to make this capable of taking pretty much anything? And so they essentially now have a long action cross. And so chambered at 300 Win Mag as well as 7 PRC, probably something else in there too. But they partnered with Proof Research for barrels, and they also kind of got rid of some of the stuff you didn't need, added other stuff. So by way of example, there's a short section of Arca rail actually built into the rail on it. So yeah, hunting, more and more people are hunting using tripods. And so basically a built-in section right there. So you can run that on a tripod. And thing was pretty cool. Ended up shooting that out to, I think, 650. And then probably my favorite thing to actually shoot out there, they had the SPEAR rifle. Like the mill rifle, was not select fire, but actually chambered in, 6.8 by 51, whatever it is. And actually the high power cartridges out there too, which are the like super high pressure. I want to say the 13 point something inch, those rounds are going at like 3,100 feet per second, something crazy. And so they had those out there. And yeah, I actually shot that a bunch. The thing I really like about that, like more than probably anything out there, is I really like that just even as a concept on a couple fronts. One, like that is the SPEAR rifle for the next gen squad weapon, all that stuff. And that is that ammo, and it will be sold. Like they will end up selling that to people, civilians, which is really cool. One, it's one of those where like, yeah, the military has it, so we should have it. Cool. People will be able to get that. In that, basically, they'll be able to get those guns and they'll be able to get all the contract overrun ammo, which brings us to kind of the other part I really like. It's basically like the civilian marksmanship program, except right now. You're not waiting like 50 years for some blown out like 1911 or something. You're getting the actually like the bleeding edge gun and that ball ammo, which is screaming fast. And I just think that's really cool. Really fun gun to shoot too. Overall, that first day was incredible on the range, and then day 2 was largely factory tours. I actually went to the factory tour a number of years back, I think when they released like the M17, M18, and they've since basically doubled. There's one whole building that is just manufacturing, machining, and then the other one's largely kind of assembly. So incredible. Like full-on conveyor belt style, like making magazines, laser welding, so much cool stuff going on there, and it was really neat to see. Something else I guess I didn't really appreciate is just the volume of guns that Sig produces. It is a staggering amount. And then with their indoor range there too, because they're test firing everything, I want to say we were talking to the range master guy, 800 to like 1.3 million rounds every month, just test firing their guns that are going out the door. Significant amount of money. And speaking about those guns, I never even knew it was a thing, and it is with Sig. They actually have this incredible machine we got to watch, like robotic machine, that laser aligns your iron sights on your pistol. So basically it pushes them in, and then it comes to the front one, and yeah, basically super perfect laser positioning in it. You're like, but I got my Sig and it's shooting low left. Yeah, weird, right? Now, they actually come, like the sights are set pretty perfect on those pistols, which is pretty cool. Overall, really grateful for the opportunity to go out there. Just really amazing range day and a ton of different products. Granted, Sig's in a place where they can actually do that. Like they have a range facility, incredible range staff there for their academy, and products that cover pretty much everything, whether it's the guns, ammo, optics, like accessory, all of the different things. Really cool getting to shoot all that stuff. But yeah, awesome timing out there. And as always, thanks for joining us at kitbadger.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.